Hey guys, I'm Syama here, CEO of Scaling Retail, and I'd like to talk today a little bit about packaging. Now, packaging is one of those things where I'm sure you've had your time and attention on simply because you're sending out a lot more orders for your direct-to-consumer products and brands. But packaging is also something that's going to potentially add a lot on your profit margins in terms of what takes away at the end of the day from your net profitability. Now, why is packaging such a black box? Well, companies like Glossier have done an amazing job of really launching beautiful packaging encompassing stickers that are seasonal, as well as pouches, and creating these very on-branded experiences. I also love how Net-a-Porter and Matches do their packaging, right? They put a lot of thought and detail on it. However, as we're looking more towards environmentally friendly future, and we're also looking in terms of profit margins, we have to ask ourselves, what do we do with packaging? How do we consider packaging that is both consumer friendly and, first and foremost, for many of these brands started off as being Instagram worthy, and actually create something that might be more in alignment with the values and ethics of our customer, even though it may not be in alignment with their social media values and ethics. So there's a bit of a pull here, right? A push and a pull, and I think our goal today is to figure out what kind of packaging is really right for you. So when it comes time to looking at packaging, first and foremost, less is more, right? What I've been seeing a lot of great brands have been doing is actually letting customers opt out of the expensive packaging. They're saying things like, hey, do you want to buy, purchase, and then at the end, opt out of receiving all the extra bells and whistles. What I think is wonderful about that is if you have a lot of repeat customers, chances are they don't really need that tote bag again, right? Chances are they may not really need all those stickers again, right? They already had that big wow, right? That first purchase was the big wow, and they probably opted in for that higher value customer packaging. But as you're culling and cultivating these repeat customers, you do want to have an option there for less packaging. And I think that a lot of brands will find that consumers are willing to give up that tote bag or that little extra sticker in favor of the planet, right? So the first thing is give your customers options. Don't assume they all want the high glossy packaging. Have it available to them, but then also really sit down and consider how you might be able to give them options so they can actually participate in being better for the planet rather than you making that decision categorically for them. Now, the second thing to really consider when it comes to packaging is how useful is your packaging? What kind of brand are you? How many different SKUs are you selling? Is it standardized? Does it actually fit into a UPS box? Do you have your own mailer that you're putting it in? How do you standardize the packaging, like the box, in order to make sure that you're not actually having to have 6 different sizes of boxes? So the other thing on your end is actually buying what you need and finding creative ways in order to reduce buying too many different kinds of boxes so you can actually be able to buy specifically for the kinds of products that you have. So when you're looking at kind of how to best invest into packaging, it's important to sit down and really think about what are the different product combinations that I end up selling more often? Am I using one kind of packaging more than the other? How can I actually buy at bulk and get better economies of scale on the kind of packaging that I'm using most frequently? And that I think we don't often think about, at the beginning stages of a brand or, in the early first few months, you might be saying, okay, I'm going to put all of these or these 3 items fit nicely into this box and these 2 fit into that box. But until you have some selling history, are you really going to know how you should be reinvesting your resources? The next is really taking a look at ways of recycling and upcycling. Companies like Lumi have done a great job, and they do more mass quantities of really customizing packaging that is both good for the planet, so reusable, recyclable, but also modular and easy to be able to use at scale. Now, when you're looking at these different options, what I think is amazing is there are so many different poly bags and plastic, recycled plastic bags that you can use. And people are using things with bamboo. I mean, the way in which you can explore packaging can truly be in a sustainable way, so long, guys, as it also fits in alignment with your profit margin at the end of the day. So we want to be doing things that are good for the planet, as well as things that are going to be good for business. Luckily, when it comes to packaging, that so happens to be very much correlated. So this kind of philosophy of streamlined packaging also, guys, works well for a brand that maybe doesn't have a lot of budget, and you can actually make it as part of your brand value proposition. We believe in lean packaging. We believe in environmentally friendly practices. Packaging is one of a few ways in which we're helping to cut down impact on the environment. And I have to tell you, if you make it intentional, your customers will really love it and appreciate it. All right, guys, that's all from me on the topic of packaging. Please make sure that you vet your resources. You make sure that you know who you're buying from, what the ethical practices are behind that. Is it really recyclable? Do your due diligence. And make sure, guys, when it comes to packaging, a few different things we need to keep in mind. Number one, yes, it can be Instagram friendly, but is it more important to stand for brand values and customer values? And then the second thing is going to be, how can I actually scale up this packaging to fit more of my products? I'm not buying so much packaging, which is going to end up being thrown out. And then lastly, how can I make sure that this is good for my profitability, right? Profitability is very important to us over here at Scaling Retail. All right, guys, that's all for me. You can reach me at hello@scalingretail.com. Hope you're doing well with your packaging strategies. Super important topic, not super sexy for most people, but I think anything that has to do with your profit margin is sexy. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.